Okay, I want to do a quick update on my raised garden, the jungle. Things are actually doing really well though. The peppers that I have here are really starting to develop. There's probably about 7 or 8 of them in here that are pretty good size. I could probably almost harvest them right now. I did put them in a small cage to keep them upright. But I have peppers in the back too that were actually mixed amongst the tomatoes and stuff, and they basically just shot up higher than the tomatoes, and I've trimmed the tomatoes back now. So you can see they're really starting to develop fruit as well. And they're up, you know, they're about 3.5, no, they're at least 4 feet tall. This one right here is at least 4 feet tall. So, you know, even though it's a jungle in here, it seems like things are doing pretty well. You can see the tomatoes. I picked about 2 gallons of these little cherry tomatoes yesterday, and I'll probably pick some more today. Of course, the basil's doing really well, and the celery. The watermelon is really taken off now. It comes way over there, comes all the way across, and comes out onto this parking area deck that I have. And you can see they're starting to, I'm developing some fruit here and there now. Yeah, there's one there. So, and back here, I picked quite a few squash already. I mean, they probably, you know, I get one at least every day for the squash. Back in here, I need to clear a little bit of at least a walking path where I can step and not step on the watermelon and kill them. But it's interesting, is over here I have the soaker hose. This is the first raised bed I did. I buried the soaker hose, and everything in here is just doing fabulous. I mean, you can see how lush green this is and how big everything is. And over here, I just ended up putting a sprayer inside here that sprays the area. And you can tell over on this side the tomatoes are kind of dying off because they're just not getting enough moisture. And it's all hooked to the same timer, so it runs the same amount of time. So when I do this again next year, I'll definitely put a soaker hose down in the ground on this one as well. There's really no comparison between this side and this side on how well they're doing. Now these are some other watermelon that I have climbing up the side of some fencing I have here. You can tell this one here is actually pretty good size now. And there's another one back here that's pretty good size. So, and there's another one developing here. There's going to be a lot of them. And what I'll do, I'm actually going to come out and cut that fencing and pull the watermelon on this side for it can actually rest on the fencing. Both of these developed on the back side, so the full weight is pulling on the vines, so I want the fencing to actually take a little of the weight. I know a while back I was wondering, I wasn't sure what type of squash this was, or zucchini or whatever, when I planted it. This came out of some of the worm compost, and I hadn't seen this leaf before that has all this white on it. But now I can see it developing. There's one here, so it's definitely a type of a squash. I'm not exactly sure still what type, but it's definitely a squash. It's not zucchini. And there's several of them that are starting to develop on this now. So and you can see back in there, there's a lot of zucchinis. Those are the Bianco, the white zucchinis. And again, I mean, there's tomatoes galore in here. I mean, more and more and more. So, but overall, I actually am pretty happy with it. It is a little bit of a jungle, and I wish I'd had a little bit more time to, keep it a little bit more under control. But overall, it's actually doing really good, and it's producing a tremendous amount of vegetables right now for me. So that's it for now, folks. This is Tom from VermiBag. Till next time, ciao.